Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout of the evening is brought to you by Mattress Mix and takes place at a catch weight of 162 pounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, representing MMA Cork, and bringing into the cage a record of 2 wins and 3 defeats. Give it up for Barry Kennedy! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He brings into the cage a record of 1 win and 3 defeats. Fighting out of SBG Naas by way of Clonmel, Tipperary. Give it up for Paul Fitzgerald!
Brace yourself for this one. 2 of my favourite fighters to watch on the Irish amateur scene over the last couple of years. Paul Fitzgerald in the black trunks, Barry Kennedy in the red.
These guys do not do boring fights.
They bring bad intentions, they bring heavy shots, they bring crisp striking, particularly the boxing from both fighters. The switching of stances by Fitzgerald is excellent. Look at
Great
Kennedy!
takedown by Barry.
Hoist Fitzgerald up in the air and puts him on his backside.
Kennedy just recently winning a purple belt jiu-jitsu competition in Galway 2 weeks ago. He's heavy wrestling and heavy boxing.
Yeah.
And Paul considers himself a counter striker and just coming off his first win in MMA.
Yeah, Fitzgerald's been some excellent fights so far. I mean, he went 0-3 in his first 3, but I mean, a couple of those fights he could have easily won. Just little mistakes cost him here and there. Coming off a brilliant win over Yusuf Ukasine in his last one.
Paul's first time fighting at home in Clonmel as well. I'm sure he's very proud to get to bring it back here after moving up the country to Naas to train.
Yeah, he's flat to the mat in SBG Naas. We said Peter Creeley and the crew are out in numbers tonight. But Kennedy looking good so far.
These are heavy, heavy shots.
Heavy shots indeed. 2-3 record Kennedy brings into the cage, and he's an experienced fighter. Staying locked onto the body of Fitzgerald and landing impactful strikes in the ground there moments ago. Looking to not let Fitzgerald off the leash too easily here.
Kennedy going by the name the Jawbreaker, he told me now, for this fight. Paul's looking to break these hands, hips forward, pushing down on these hands would help. But Barry does not want to let him go. He's looking to drag him down to the mat. Here we go.
Yeah, really heavy pressure wrestling here by Kennedy. Kennedy has wins over Daniel Kampfer and Nikolai Shiup, who fights later on the card tonight. Teammate, of course, of Fitzgerald. Really impressive first round so far by Kennedy.
Kennedy hasn't even given Paul a chance to warm up, really. He didn't give him a chance to get started.
Yeah, I was about to say, Fitzgerald's known for his striking style. He's aggressive, but his counter-striking looked really good the last day. He looked a lot more measured in his approach, but that's where his strengths lie, and Kennedy's just taken him completely out of that zone and dictated where the fight's going to take place so far anyway. So
he's got heavy, heavy hips. I rolled against Barry once a couple of years ago when he was a blue belt, and he's a very heavy top pressure.
Yeah, he's a physically strong guy. That win he had over Nikolai Shiup was actually a really entertaining boxing match in this very cage in December. It's basically 3 rounds in the pocket. Both guys rang each other's bell numerous times, and Barry's head looked like one massive bruise for about a week afterwards. But
Barry looks like he doesn't want to get bruised up again. He's keeping this on the ground.
Yeah, he said that to me here on one of the previous shows. You don't want to be doing that too many times. So
great first round from Kennedy.
We'll be happy with victorious fighters. Kennedy looking to continue the winning streak tonight.
Paul's kicks are very dangerous.
Yeah, and Kennedy not wanting any of that. He wants to get straight back to where we left off at the end of the first.
Kennedy going to trip, get the double leg. Wow, again.
The strength of Barry Kennedy.
Straight over to his corner.
Yeah, he Matt Hughes that one, didn't he? All the way across into the corner where Coach Aaron Maguire and assistant coach Johnny Duggan are within earshot.
Does Paul have a bit of butterfly guard there? Is he trying to?
He does, but his right leg
No,
is trapped now, and he's into a half guard position without a deep underhook. And Kennedy just heavy in this top position, smothering the energy from Paul Fitzgerald, who's finding himself trying to swim against the tide a little bit.
And this is very taxing on Paul. Even though it looks like Barry's doing the work, Paul is holding all that weight on top of him, all that pressure on top of him.
Yeah, when you're trying to frame, you're trying to stop the progression of a physically strong fighter like Kennedy.
And your Paul's family over in the corner shouting his praises. He thought about a buggy choke, I think, there, but
yeah,
left it alone.
A bit of a low percentage movement in MMA. We want to see Fitzgerald from here get that underhook of his, that left arm deeper, higher, and wrestle up. Tries to, but Kennedy passes over beautifully into the mount. The quickness of that transition, very impressive indeed. Much like we saw Michael Pilau in the first round, Kennedy has also been very methodical with his pressure here on top. He's not just wailing heavily on his opponent, he's taking his time.
He's trying to gather them arms.
Has a clear advantage here in the grappling stakes, especially in this top position anyway.
Now, Paul did say he doesn't train in the gi, but this is technically purple belt versus white belt jiu-jitsu here.
Yeah, we can see the advantage Kennedy has, and what this does is it takes the gas tank away from Fitzgerald. So if they do begin a third and final round, Fitzgerald's not really firing on all cylinders when that happens. Nice little attempt at the pass, but
Shrimped out there.
He's just in time.
Barry's passed again.
But he's always letting Kennedy come up and get chest to chest, which is not what you want. 2 rounds have just gotten away here from Paulie Fitzgerald, and he's going to need a little space to get a little bit of that power striking off in the third. He needs to earn the respect of Barry Kennedy here, who just walked across the cage and lifted him up in the last 2 rounds. Let's see what he can do here. Kennedy does the same there. Doesn't get to the hips this time. Fitzgerald ready to sprawl a bit better. Needs to create that distance. Sprawls again. Kennedy finds himself on his back. Fitzgerald lands a big one.
Great strike from Paul.
Now he's on top. What can he do? He lets Kennedy in underneath those hips. Might have been better off just stepping back and let his opponent stand back up. Manages to stay on top, albeit.
Could be a nice sweep here.
Wrestle up is beautiful by Kennedy. He's got that frame. Is he going to be able to get a triangle? No, the right leg is still inside rather than outside, so triangle won't be an option here. And Kennedy now into this top position again. Fitzgerald's going to rue that moment that he didn't just disengage.
We've seen that a couple times now tonight.
Yeah, just fight IQ. At amateur level, these little mistakes can be still in your game, and when you watch these fights back, it might be the last time you'll make that mistake. But this is how you learn.
It's the beauty of these amateur fights. See, Barry's grappling is just phenomenal. He's great pressure. He's not getting booked. He's not getting moved.
I'm unbelievably impressed with his performance tonight. I think this is the best one he's put on so far, and he's had a few good ones, but this is without a doubt his strongest thus far. It's not over the line just yet.
Oh, Paul might be, he's kind of getting cradled here. Paul might be able to get to the cage and get up. He's looking for it.
Suffocating pressure by Kennedy.
Holding that leg like that is very uncomfortable, but he's up. I'm sure Barry's going to be working for that double leg again.
The pressure, the relentless pressure by Kennedy, who just, I don't know, did he pull guard or did he just lose his balance?
It was hard to see. It's hard to see from where we were what happened there.
He does have a half guard or a shallow half guard or a lockdown.
You're in danger of eating strikes like that, though, aren't you, in MMA, if you're in that kind of...
Yeah, pulling guard isn't the most advisable thing in MMA, no matter how good your grappling is.
Brilliant sweep there again.
Yeah. Just in control in the grappling exchanges, really, is Kennedy so far. And this will be a fight that Fitzgerald is going to look back on with frustration. I said, that pivotal moment early in the third where he was starting to ascend into the more dominant position and just didn't disengage at the right time.
Back into full mount again. I don't know if Paul has a hand stuck.
It looks that way.
It's hard to see from here.
And another round ekes away from Paul Fitzgerald. Heavy shots there from Barry Kennedy to put a rubber stamp on the round. And
Great
that was all she wrote. Kennedy's
great
gonna
performance
be
by Barry
with that,
Kennedy.
isn't he? Kennedy's
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to your judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored this bout 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Barry Kennedy!